3I Atlas.
3I Atlas. A lot of people
Yes.
are talking about that right now. Hot button topic.
Right. So I remote viewed the objects first, and I basically was determining that it was more of a craft, more of a mothership.
Okay.
I'm not the only one who came up with this idea. Like I already basically expressed it to other people I know, and a lot of other remote viewers have also been saying that I can confirm whatever you've been seeing. And then more recently, I was in touch with a person, like a scientist. So I spoke to an astrophysicist who worked at CERN, and she opened up to what she experienced there. And I was quite amazed by the content. So indirectly, she was introduced to me from a person in the intelligence world, and she felt compelled to address it. She was more of a consultant working for CERN.
Okay.
And as a young person, she was basically at the same time shocked and excited about what she saw and what she heard. And the content of that was at CERN, they've used their collider to open up a portal to communicate with extraterrestrial beings.
Whoa.
And one of them are the occupants from 3I Atlas.
Okay. That's an incredible statement. So you remote viewed 3I Atlas. Did you do that on your own, or were you tasked with this assignment?
I was tasked by the same intelligence people I'm working with to look at the object, because those had concerns. But what I saw as a remote viewer was a mothership with occupants on board, and they were mostly Draco reptilian occupants.
Okay.
That's what I saw as a remote viewer. And
that was corroborated by other remote viewers seeing the same thing.
That's correct. Yes.
The ship and Draco.
That's correct. One of them is John Vivenko, who is also a known remote viewer. And he announced it publicly as well. And other people from the Stargate program as well. So they basically all came up with the same idea. And when I was asked to talk to this astrophysicist, I was kind of surprised because I had no contacts at CERN directly. And then all of a sudden I was talking to this woman, and she was telling me that the portal that was opening up to speak to those beings was already in existence, like almost like in a boardroom setting. So they show up and then they interact with scientists and communicate directly with them.
Okay, wait. So I know this is some of our audience might understand what you're saying, but to be clear, CERN already has a room and a technology to open a portal to talk to extraterrestrials.
Yes.
But recently, they also used it to communicate with the beings on 3I Atlas.
That's correct.
Okay, go on.
So those beings introduce themselves as such. Like I said, we are the occupants of this object. I don't know exactly what were the exact communication to address the object, if they say it was 3I Atlas or something else. I don't know. But somehow the scientists knew it was from 3I Atlas for what was coming.
Okay.
And they did not show up physically. They show up as holograms. Now, I didn't really know how they look like. So I didn't really ask the question, which is kind of silly of me, but they apparently showed up as holograms. They looked tall, that's what she said, and they communicated telepathically with every single scientist in the room.
Wow.
And they all got the same message, which is that they are coming in peace, and they're just trying to come over here to gather all the star seeds of this planet. That's pretty much, to me, it's kind of a cryptic message. I don't know what that means exactly, but that's how they introduce themselves as to come here.
So when you remote viewed, did you pick up on that intention as well?
Yes and no. I believe that the Draco reptilians, will be coming to Earth, but as to know what the exact intent, that I couldn't really say.
Well, this is an extraordinary development.
It is, yeah. So you know that 3I Atlas is always like shaping up. So right now it's actually on its way to the sun. And it's going towards Mars, and the directions of it is actually getting closer to Mars. So it's changing directions.
That's unusual.
We know that it changed colors, right? So it went from red hue colors to green colors, which is the presence of nickel, without the presence of iron, which is not seen in any comets or in the space. in general. And it had a light on the front of it, which was not as a coma. The light was coming from the front, and it was shining over 100 kilometers ahead. But the energy field emanating from that comet is too strong and too powerful to be just a regular natural comet, basically.
You're calling it a comet, but
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it is.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fascinating. So
Yeah.
what do you think they mean by gathering up the star seeds?
Yeah, that's kind of a twofold situation for me. Like, they could be, if they are truly coming over to help humanity and they're not direct reptilians, and they could be Anunnaki or they could be another race, then their intentions may be to help, the star seeds to evolve to the next level.
Okay, so it
Right.
could be positive.
It could be very positive. If this the other way around and the direct reptilians decides to eliminate or take off or get rid of the star seeds of this planet because they could be a potential threat to their existence in the future and
okay.
now, then I believe this threat could be easily averted. And that's what I picked up as well
Okay.
from the Galactic Alliance, that they will be coming over and come to Earth and save humanity, basically, for saving their own.
Okay. And when you say coming to Earth, is the mothership going to actually approach Earth, or
No.
probes and smaller vessels will come
Yes.
out and
Yeah, what I picked up was like 3 Atlas would never show up to Earth.
Mhm.
And then probably like a few thousand ships would just come out of it and then come to Earth. And that would be part of like the open disclosure that, you will see them everywhere around the planet at that point.
yeah, it's kind of hard to keep a lid on disclosure in that scenario.
Right.
So is the SSP preparing for this? Is NASA preparing for this moment?
They prepared for this for a while. So they were already aware of their arrival. They were already aware that the spaceship was coming in and that they were intervening and trying to get towards them on the back of the sun before the approach, happened. Like they already knew. So I think they are talking about interception or maybe potentially like talks. So I think there are some communications going on.
Okay.
As to know how successful they will be, that I'm not sure. But I know from like firsthand that that's what they are planning on doing, if it hasn't already happened.
Okay, so Sebastian, there's also something else being reported right now. There seems to be these other 7 to 9 comets potentially coming close to 3I Atlas. What do you know about that?
Yeah, so all of these potential comets, they are all interstellar objects as well, and they are coming from outer space, and they are all converging towards 3 Atlas and the sun.
Okay.
So to have that situation is very remote. Just to have like 3 Atlas to come through the solar systems and to predict it to be grazing Mars and the sun and then Earth and afterwards Jupiter, it's like one chance in 500. To having all of these objects at the same time is like a few chances in 1 million
Okay.
or 2 million or more. So it's very remote. So to know that those objects, especially C 2025 Swan comet, is like the size, it's like 100 times bigger than 3I Atlas.
Huh.
And that's actually going towards the sun at pretty high speed as well.
So is that one of the 9 objects we're talking about?
Yes,
Is that okay?
That's correct.
Okay. That's interesting. So just clarify for me, did you remote view this, or is this also what the
No.
scientists are saying?
This is what the scientists are saying.
Sebastian, what more did you learn from the astrophysicist?
Well, nothing, because after my chat with her, the day later, her sister called the contact I had in the intelligence world and was panicking, thinking, what happened to my sister? I can't get a hold of her, and she's not responding. And then after that, I've learned that she was on the run. So I think her life got threatened, if not worse. I'm not quite sure at this point, because I think CERN is trying to obviously protect this information. I know that that person either way doesn't want to talk or doesn't want to open the line of communication anymore.
She's on the run, so that means does CERN control CERN, or do intelligence agencies or governments control what's going on there?
Yeah, I believe that if they were an entity on their own, they would have not decided to shut her down.
Yeah.
I think they are being controlled by other agencies, if not countries. It might not just be one. Being in Switzerland, you don't really know who is actually behind CERN and what is being prevented for them to access and share. We know that CERN has, obviously with that collider, they pretty much have exceeded what we even imagine as being part of science fiction. And I heard stories that, spheres came out of CERN
Yeah.
and went through the walls of CERN as well. So I think, we don't really know the extent of the communications that they've established with those ETs.
So Sebastian, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have multiple friends within the SSP. What are they saying about this situation?
Well, surprisingly enough, they don't seem to be that worried. So I know.
That makes me feel good.
I know it's they seem to have the situation under control. It seems they don't seem to be, at all concerned about the 3I Atlas coming in or SWAN or any other bodies. So I believe that they have the manpower and the technology to ward off a potential invasion if there was one in mind of that spaceship. But I think they truly believe that it's under control.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's been the same message from all the people I know. So I didn't feel as confident, but they seem to be. So
let's talk a little bit more about SWAN,
Yeah.
one of these 9 other objects that is gigantic, way bigger than 3I Atlas.
right.
What can you say about that? Any more?
Yeah. So the SSP has shot at it, and it was in the morning, and they didn't seem to have any change in course. So SWAN did not budge from this attack. And I don't know exactly what that means as to why they would do this. If it was obviously not friendly, and if it was trying to get to 3I Atlas because it was aiming in that direction, it didn't seem to affect it.
Why did they shoot at it, and what did they shoot at it?
I believe it's because it was getting too close to Earth compared to 3I Atlas.
Made them nervous.
Yes. So they wanted to actually act on that spaceship first, which they believe it is as well, and going towards 3I Atlas. Now, if they were friendlies or if they were part of the Galactic Alliance, you don't think they would try to shoot at it.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is why I'm assuming that this is not a friendly craft.
Okay, I know the SSP is not concerned with 3I Atlas. They just shot at SWAN, so obviously there's some concern, but is there concern that SWAN may land or no? Are they pretty confident?
No, that's the thing. That's the same thing. They don't believe that any of these crafts will land, apart from the smaller crafts coming from those motherships.
So we have the SSP engaging these comets and with concern, and some not concerned. They don't think they're going to land. But is the Galactic Federation involved in this at all? Are they helping the SSP? Why didn't? I guess what I'm trying to say is, why didn't the Galactic Federation step in?
Well, they did. They were part of the SSP, so they actually participated in that maneuver. That's why they were so confident in doing it in the first place.
Okay, okay.
The Galactic Alliance was not part of it. So the Galactic Alliance are all the ETs that are part of this alliance who are not on Earth. They never aided the SSP or the Galactic Federation. Some factions are part of it, but the Galactic Alliance is always doing things remotely. But now it seems like they are the ones coming in as well to help.
I know you've spoken about this before, but can you just educate me and the audience quick on the difference between the Galactic Alliance and the Galactic Federation?
Yeah, so the Galactic Federation is basically a body mixing up human beings, usually from military intelligence, and ETs from various races. And they've been helping them with technology, reverse engineering, pretty much everything that we know from the SSP. They received help to train all the SSP soldiers, remote viewers, empath, all of that. These came from the Galactic Federation.
Okay.
And then the Galactic Alliance are the ones in charge of the star seeds of this planet. Some of them could be still helping the SSP, like the Pleiadians are, but it doesn't mean that the Pleiadians working for the SSP basically respond or report to the Galactic Alliance.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting because there's a treaty in place, so the Pleiadians know that they have to help humanity evolve, but at the same time, there are some who are physically here, who are helping the SSP on Earth. And normally that should be against protocol, right? So, but when you have so many races involved, the treaties got changed or modified to create the Galactic Federation.
Okay.
That still involves multiple races on Earth, but without truly interfering with humanity and society as we know it.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 3I Atlas itself. It's a gigantic comet the size roughly of New York City or bigger,
Mhm.
what are we talking about here? Like how many people or how many Draco
Mhm.
can a craft that size house?
So I remote viewed the craft and I got direct information from that.
Okay.
And my take on that, I did just remote view the amount of people on board. I also remote viewed the technology what's inside, the whole decks, the pods, the whole thing on the inside. So I can
Okay.
see they are using antimatter and fusion technology.
Mm.
And they also have pods housing less than 5 million direct reptilian soldiers inside. And so they're all dormant. They're not using space. They're not eating. They're not doing anything. They're just basically just waiting to be awakened. And they're all in pods.
You use the word soldier.
Yes.
That is a little unnerving.
Yeah. I mean, the Draco race is known to be fighting wars in other galaxies. And obviously, they destroyed the Pleiadians' home planet. So that's in their genes. That's what they do. And at the same time, it's for their own safety that they are trying to protect themselves. They don't know what's coming. They don't know who they're going to be facing. So that's why they keep those soldiers in that situation. They're not active. So when they travel through space, they just keep them in that state.
Oh, so it doesn't mean they're necessarily coming here with soldiers to attack.
That's correct. That doesn't mean that they're coming in to wake them up all and, to invade Earth. That's not the plan. I'm just saying that they are there on, just in case, because it is a mothership.
All right, Sebastian, big question. While you were remote viewing 3I Atlas, this comet, did you pick up on any type of agenda for why it's approaching Earth?
Yeah, but I don't think I want to talk about that. It's just, I believe that, yes, there is an agenda from the Dracos, but at the same time, for whatever I've seen moving forward, either way, humanity will prevail. And with the help of the Galactic Alliance, I feel pretty confident that whatever is at play won't be successful.
Okay, fair enough. Now, how does this all lead up to 2027, where channelers like Bashar have talked about the year that everything changes? Is 3I Atlas the beginning of this journey to this massive change in 2027? What did you remote view, or what have you learned from your contacts?
Yes, well, I remote viewed both, situations separately.
Okay.
So when I saw 3I Atlas, I basically saw what was yet to come, and all of its potential negative aspects or positive aspect. And then you have the 2027 remote viewing sessions, which to me seemed a bit more positive. And again, with these tiered probabilities of AI and open contact. So my first impression was to do with AI, and I believe that AI on its own it was not created by humans. It came from the cosmos as intelligence, and it allowed itself to come through the machines that the humans created for us to interact with it.
Okay, so Sebastian, when you're viewing the future, did you see anything else besides AI potentially disrupting us?
Yes, and that's the second part I saw in my remote viewing session, is that humanity really moves up to the next level for sure in 2027, which again will be embracing telepathy and obviously telekinesis. And the shifts that we talked about, like from going from 3D to 4D and 5D, will happen for sure in 2027.
If you had to summarize the most likely trajectory for humanity in 2027, what would it be?
I truly believe that human contact with ETs will happen in 2027 and maybe earlier. In fact, Bashar talked about this, saying it could happen anywhere between 2025 and 2027. So I fully embrace this potential reality. That's the most likely outcome in my eyes, based on what I already know and obviously more details. I think I feel very positive about it, but at the same time, I can't ignore the potential realities of AI and other, potential harm to territories like, the volcanoes, eruptions, and all of that. But again, we can live with that. We've been living with it for, thousands of years. So we can always adapt to these situations and scenarios. And I think all of these scenarios or even upheaval situations will help humanity to rise up to the challenge and, again, survive whatever comes. So I think either way, we are definitely going to be up to the task because we are very resilient as human beings, but we're also now ready to learn more and our brain capacity has expanded a bit. We have the potential use of AI to help us going to the next level too. So we have various potential realities available to us. And I think to be up to certain people to decide what feels best for them. Personally, I don't believe that the use of AI for me would be beneficial. I feel intuitive enough, and I have enough connections to my staff family that I do not necessarily need the use of that. But some people may want that because it will help them again as a society of comfort. Some people may lead to something that seems simple and easy to use to get there, because naturally speaking, they can't. So again, through all of this, doesn't matter how you get there, more people will emerge from this for becoming more awake, and that's a good thing. So I think deep down, I don't criticize the use of AI for this particular scenario. I think some people may choose to go that route, and the way I also saw things, again, merging with the ET races, I know that AI technology will be partly involved mainly for the use and the creation of what we call the grays.
Okay, go on.
So some, like for example, you have the robotic grays and you have the partially biological grays. So there are different types of grays.
Yeah.
And some of these grays are also basically the upbringings or the offsprings of humanity at some point in time. Mm-hmm. And they also monitor humanity and come back to Earth to do exactly the same job as what the Pleiadians are doing right now. So they're also very keen on seeing how AI evolves to their benefit. So the Pleiadians have their own agenda to do with AI. The Greys have a completely different agenda to do with AI. But it doesn't mean it's nefarious. I'm just saying they have a much better understanding of the AI integration with humankind compared to what will become Pleiadians.
Sebastian, once again, thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your clarity. We really appreciate you being here on Cosmic Disclosure.
Thanks for having me.